today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a reflection, more of just kind of chatting with you. And yeah, we're going to talk about just reflecting on the year of homeschooling that we had and how we kind of managed the chaos that has been 2020 and 2021. So if that's something that you're interested in, stick around. So 2020, 2021, it's quite the year. Things are ending quite nicely. The world is opening back up, and that has been awesome. Thankfully with homeschooling, we didn't have, we weren't hindered too much in the way of how our daily life works, but we weren't able to do our co-op this year, which was a bit of a disappointment. But in turn, because of that, and we still wanted to be able to see friends and hang out with them, I actually started like a field trip co-op, which ended up being so much fun, and I think was a huge blessing to, at least I know, our family, and I think some of the other families who joined as well in that co-op. But it worked out nicely. We were still kind of able to retain a little bit of normalcy, and then the kids were able to still do their sports and things like that. Just gymnastics has been like the hardest one for us because I had to sit in the car with the two boys for an hour because our gymnastics is far enough that I can't just drop her off and go home, but they didn't want more than one person inside watching, and I had the kids. So when you're a mom of three, you have two extras, and yeah, but they're starting to open up more, which has been great, and we've been hopefully able to start sitting inside more. But yeah, as far as like the extracurriculars, that's been kind of nice, is that it was staying the same. But our biggest win was definitely the field trip group. We were able to still get out and do things. We did a lot of hikes. We did visits to like a farm in the fall, which was a lot of fun. And then when you have like a group of people, you can use group rates, and a lot of the like school rates weren't available because they weren't actually hosting field trips at different museums and zoos and things like that, but we were able to utilize the group rates still and still get discounted pricing for that. So I highly recommend field trip groups. Maybe I'll do a video on those, but yeah, so I wanted to also just kind of share how I felt like our year went, like the flow of our homeschool and how the kids have progressed, which has been, which is always exciting to see as a homeschooling mom. Sometimes you're in the midst of it and you feel like you're doing everything wrong. You feel like nothing's working. And you're like, how am I screwing up my kids more? And maybe that's just motherhood in general, but like, you know, when you don't get much of a break from your children because they are with you 24/7. You sometimes maybe focus on it more than you need to. But I feel like this was our second year of homeschooling. We were finally able to hit a stride, and I was able to have some more confidence in how I was teaching and how we had our routine down. Lewis started homeschooling this year, and so adding his stuff in on top of still Isabella needing quite a bit of help from me, that was a new balance. You know, they say homeschooling can often be done within a few hours, depending on how you do it and what you integrate for your curriculums and things like that. But I would say when your kids are younger, they definitely still need mom's help a lot. And so that in itself just makes it longer. So maybe per kid, you know, you're having an hour and a half of school stuff, but mom needs to be there for each one. So Lewis takes about an hour for his school with me, and so that's an hour with him. And then Isabella's is about, depending on the day, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, not usually, but that's still that one-on-one time. So my bulk of my day ends up, you know, kind of getting focused on them, which is great and it's totally fine. But when you say it's just 2 hours or just an hour. It's not necessarily true when you have more kids. Your bulk of your day is teaching and schooling your children. So finding a routine that worked for us was really important. And it actually kind of like, it changed from fall to spring. And I think we were really good in the fall with our routine and we had things down. And then like after Christmas, we were just tired. So we like eased back into school. And then our routine it's been good, but it's not been like the best. So I'm hoping with like a nice break again, we can kind of come back strong and get like a better routine, because our routine, the way we have it now, has been like a lot of fighting in the sense of like, okay, we did our morning time. Now Lewis is gonna do school, but you know, like take 5-10 minutes to get your wiggles out after all of our shared studies that we've done. And then it'll be your personal studies. But that 5 to 10 minutes, the kids go and try to like start a game or something that they're playing. And then it was, you know, a lot of fighting and screaming of, I don't want to start school, I just started playing. So I think we need to find that balance of, okay, you can like take a break, get your wiggles out, but like don't start a game because it's not going to be possible. So I've had some lessons learned this spring and some humbling moments, just trying to balance that and figure it out. And I've learned that communication with, especially Lewis, like Isabella's pretty good. She kind of has what she likes to do and what time she likes to do them at. And so that's been working really well. But Lewis tends to, you know, he's at 5, below that like full age of reason still, even like trying to say, you know, in 5 minutes we'll start this. It's tough on him still. So I'm hoping next year we'll get better. But overall, I would say our routine has been a success, but definitely in the springtime, we've had some lessons learned. But yeah, it's been good. I definitely encourage a routine. Like, at least for our family, we thrive off of routines. When it's just kind of willy-nilly, it doesn't go as well. Our day is not as productive, and there's a lot more arguing and fighting and tantrums and negotiating. A lot of negotiating. So yeah, that's been interesting. For this, like each kid personally, I think it's been really cool to see them progress. Lewis, at the beginning of the year, I was like convinced he would not be reading until like another full year. But he's done so well and he's pushed himself, and that has been it's really cool to see your kid kind of flourish and like be able to be there for that, which is, you know, the benefit of homeschooling is I'm the one right there teaching him, and I get to see that spark light up and see the joy on his face when he reads his first word. And there's nothing better than being able to see that. As frustrating as it can be when they're fighting or negotiating on when to start school or things like that, being able to see those moments are really cool, and see that like light bulb turn on and the things click. So trying to hold on to those little moments on those days when they're rough, those are the moments that get you through, make it all worth it. And he's like blown me away on how well he does with math. Writing, he's like writing his numbers, he's still struggling with like neat wise, writing them in like a legible manner. He can write them all and he knows what they all look like, but like, you know, he still writes them this big versus, you know, staying in the lines. So that we need to work on. But overall, his math, he's just sailing through, which has been really, really fun to see that math is something for him, at least right now, that he enjoys, and he's progressing quite quickly through. If you're hearing noises, my dog is visiting me right now. If you see me still petting my dog, that's why. For Isabella, I think this year has been good because the first year of homeschooling, we had taken her out of public school, so that was an adjustment. and she kept asking the whole first year of homeschooling to go back to school. She liked it better at school. She wanted to do it back at school, which is hard. That like kind of like beats down your morale, but you know you're doing the right thing for your kid, but they don't quite understand it yet. Well, this year she understood it. It clicked. It made sense. She likes homeschooling. She likes being home with me. So that's been a huge like weight off your shoulders, off my shoulders, and like a big blessing to know that, okay, all right, she's got it. She knows that like we're doing things here at home, why we're homeschooling, why it's important to us. And I think she's seeing the benefits of it too, especially, you know, hearing different family and friends and things like that who have had to go through this year doing schooling online or just in and out of school because school's closed because of, you know, too many people getting sick or whatever. And she's also seen the benefit with the field trips, the being able to go out and go hiking and say, this is your school for the day, you know, like a hike and looking at nature and seeing different things and going to different museums. Like, yeah, you take field trips in school, but maybe you take 2 or 3 a year, not very many, and especially not now with COVID. They were not going to be doing any of that. So yeah, she's definitely enjoying it more. And I think this year she kind of bridged that like needing mom for everything to starting to do things on her own. Before she, I think at the beginning of the year, she was reading really well, but she only wanted to read to me. And then slowly but surely this year, she's started reading books on her own during quiet time before bed. And then, you know, now she's reading some, you know, easier level chapter books, which has been so fun to see, and see that she's a little bookworm like I am. Because there's nothing better that I would like to do than just sit down and read a book. And I've been doing a lot of reading this year, but it's fun to see that she enjoys it as much as I enjoy it. So yeah, I feel like hers, she's just hit that stride where homeschooling works and she likes it, and she's you know, content where she's at being at home. So yeah, that's kind of been our school year. I mean, I don't know, I just wanted to reflect on it a little bit so I could have it, and now we have it here on YouTube, so it'll be something I can come back and look at with them and things like that. So I know I didn't obviously have, you know, how our plans were for starting out the year because I just started this channel, but it's kind of nice to be able to reflect on, especially for such a chaotic year, and going into our second year of homeschooling, you know, knowing and continuing, is that the right thing? I think when you're homeschooling, and probably when you send your kids to school too, you question yourself, is this the right school for my kid, or is homeschooling right for my kid? And it's just affirming, I guess, when you have the victories and you see the things that your kids have grown in. So yeah, but I hope that you guys have a great day. Let me know some of your wins for homeschooling this year, or if you sent your kids to school, what was something that you saw your kid grow in, and yeah, I'd love to hear about it. So be sure to like and subscribe if you like seeing videos like this. If you want to see more motherhood videos, those will be coming soon. And yeah, turn on your notification bell too, so that you're the first to be notified. All right, I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.